It is the most interactive professional wrestling discussion show on the internet. WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. This is In the Hot Seat with your host, Fortminorproject.
Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to this week's brand new episode for In the Hot Seat. Of course, as always, I got a tremendous show for you guys. And with this week, I got a returning guest joining me at this time. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, this is WWE TNA for Life, and this is In the Hot Seat.
Alright, it's a pleasure to have you back on the show, and we got a lot to get through. Now, with this one, I'm going to kick things off here. And what would you like to see going into the WWE with 2012?
With 2012, I think, they're ending 2011 on a high note with the TLC pay-per-view being as good as it was, and, having, the stars in the championship seem like they are now. I think we're in for a very good year in 2012. We're going to have Dolph Ziggler being pushed further into the main event scene, which is something I've wanted to see for a long time. And, you got the three champions right now, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and Zack Ryder, who the fans are very happy with being champions. And so, I think 2012 is going to be a great year.
Yeah, I'm going to add on to that, and I think 2011 has been actually not that bad of a year. I thought it was a pass for me. We saw some good things coming out of that. So, looking into 2012, there are a couple of things I would like to see. Some of the things that you mentioned as well. And I would like to see a couple of returns here. Hopefully, maybe Chris Jericho will return. I know we got that whole It Begins promo that's been happening as of late. Maybe The Undertaker will return with his badass Undertaker gimmick, so I think that would be tremendous. Also, hopefully, we'll get to see Christian come back and have a better title reign that he did in 2011, so I think that would be great too in itself. Hopefully, this time we'll see a Royal Rumble winner actually win at WrestleMania. For the past, I think it was the past two Royal Rumbles, we didn't really get to see that, and the past two Royal Rumble winners didn't really get a win, so I didn't really like that. Hopefully, this time around in 2012, we will see a Royal Rumble winner win at WrestleMania and win the World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Championship, whichever championship they will go after at the time, and depending on who it is, of course. Also, a couple of things I am looking forward into the WWE Network, and hopefully everyone will be able to get that. So I will be looking forward into seeing that. Also, if Chris Jericho does come back, I kind of would like to see a feud between him and Wade Barrett. I think that would be pretty interesting to see as well, and especially since Wade Barrett has been on the roll as of late, I think that would be a good feud going into 2012 if indeed Chris Jericho does come back, so I think that would be great. And that's just some of the things that I have right now. We could go basically forever on this, so that's just some of the things that I have and would like to see going into 2012, so I'm sure 2012 will be a great year for the WWE if things go right, so that's it when it comes to that. Now we move along into the next topic here, and do you think Late Cool should make a return, or do you think they should have their own separate returns with Michelle McCool and Layla? What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely think Late Cool should not return. I think they were getting a bit stale toward the end of their run, which is exactly why I think WWE decided to break them up. Because, I've seen that they were getting stale, and they really had nothing else to do. They were going through therapy sessions by the end of their run, and that was really pointless. That was a dumb gimmick. But I definitely think they should return separately and eventually her and Layla feud again. But make it a better feud than it was.
Yeah. I think they should both come back, even if they come back as Late Cool or not. We'll have to wait and see where that's going to go. As much as they piss me off as their tag team run and everything like that, I actually miss Michelle McCool, so I think a return would be good going into 2012 and, have her do some more matches and stuff like that. So I think that would be pretty interesting in itself. And moving along into the next thing that I got here, and that is the Big Show. And what are your thoughts on, do you think the Big Show should have another heel run or not? What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely definitely think he should have another heel run. The last time Big Show was heel was when he was ECW champion, and he had Paul Heyman managing him, and that was a great run for the Big Show. The Big Show was an awesome heel. He was a great ECW champion, even though he probably shouldn't have really been ECW champion. But he gets a great heel. Some people say he tried too hard when he's a heel. He tried too hard to be that evil character. But I think Big Show as a heel would be great because he can actually entertain you. He's a very entertaining guy. He's not athletic by no means, but he is very entertaining in the ring.
Yeah. I think they actually might go for a heel turn as of right now since Daniel Bryan has cashed in on him, so it would make sense, and I think they will probably actually do that, so I wouldn't really be surprised. And I think Big Show as a heel is much more better, and you can't really buy him too much as a face. At some points it's okay, but really, him as a heel I think would do a lot more better, and if they can have Mark Henry back as a heel again, I think they can do it just as good with the Big Show turning heel going into 2012, so I think that would be very interesting as well too there. Now going on into the next thing and moving along and continuing on Daniel Bryan, and of course he won the World Heavyweight Championship at TLC. What are your thoughts on that, and as well him and CM Punk both being champions at the same time basically?
Well, I didn't think they'd give Daniel Bryan the title this early. I thought they would do with what they originally had planned and have him win it at WrestleMania. I figured they couldn't really find any other way to do it because Mark Henry came down with an injury, so they had Daniel Bryan cash in early. It's my thoughts on it. But Daniel Bryan cashing in is completely okay with me because he worked his way up from the Indies, and he worked for years trying to get to where he is now, and it's very heartwarming to see him finally have his moment in the sun. And as far as him and CM Punk being champion at the same time together, I think that's awesome because you have two ROH alumni, as champions, and and they're great wrestlers too. And you could have a unification match between Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. That would be an amazing match. That probably won't happen at all in a million years, but that would be an amazing match to see them unify the title.
Yeah, I thought the cash-in was great, and I was hoping, I at least thought anyway, that Daniel Bryan was going to actually wait until WrestleMania, but I am too fine with this, and I think it's great to see actual wrestlers other than John Cena and Randy Orton being champions, so hopefully Daniel Bryan will have a good enough title run and be champion up until WrestleMania and a little bit after WrestleMania, so I am looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next with him. And then going back to the Big Show thing, probably have a program of them and a couple of the other guys. And I think, as well, I said this before on Twitter, a Daniel Bryan and CM Punk champion versus champion match, I think that would be pretty cool to see as well. So whether or not that's going to happen, we'll have to wait and see. So, that's it when it comes to that one. Now we move along into the last topic here, and that is Zack Ryder. Of course, we have another new champion. With this one going with the United States Championship is Zack Ryder, and what are your thoughts on that?
I'm very happy to see Zack Ryder finally have the U.S. title. He's one of those mid-card guys that you really love, and maybe he doesn't deserve a big title like the WWE title yet, but he does deserve the U.S. title because he pushed himself. He got himself over with the fans by doing his YouTube show, Long Island IC, and everybody just loves him because of that show, and WWE actually went with what the fans were wanting, which was a U.S. title match between Ziggler and Ryder, and to put the title on Ryder was a good move by the WWE.
Yeah, it definitely was a good move, and he definitely has worked his ass off trying to get his shot for the United States Championship, so I am happy that he did get to finally win it, so hopefully we get to see at least some of a good lengthy title reign and see other people try and go after the United States Championship and see some feuds between Zack Ryder and whoever else wants the United States Championship. So I think that's pretty cool in itself. So I am happy for him, and he did a lot to try and get a shot, and he did successfully win it. So that's really cool when it comes to that one. And that's basically it when I have all the topics and all that stuff. So is there anything else you would like to add or talk about before we end the show?
I want to talk about one guy in the WWE.
Sure, go ahead.
And that is Jinder Mahal.
Alright.
Because I thought it was so funny. During his match with Sheamus, Muhammad Hassan was trending while Jinder Mahal's match was going on. And I really want to say that Muhammad Hassan was a great character. He was an awesome heel in the WWE. And, you know, they're trying to do it again with Jinder Mahal, but it's just not working. Jinder Mahal is you can't buy him at all. I mean, I don't buy him at all as much as I did Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know your opinion on that, Fort Minor, but, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really that big of a fan of Jinder Mahal. I couldn't really get into the guy, and I know they've been trying to do some things with him. And no doubt about it, definitely Muhammad Hassan was a great heel at the time, and he did really good at what he did. So it sucks, you know, what happened with him. He's no longer around. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll keep trying doing different things, and eventually we'll get into him a little bit. But I don't really see that happening, and you know, it depends on what the plans are for him. So, you know, that's it when it comes to me and my thoughts on that. But that's basically it. Is there anything else you want to give your thoughts on, or any shoutouts for that matter?
No. Thanks for watching the hot seat this week, and 2012 is going to be a good year in WWE.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here back, and I will leave a link to everyone to check you out in the description box. And that about does it for this week. Of course, be sure to comment on what we talked about. Feel free to leave a video response, or both, doesn't really matter. That about does it for this week's episode for In the Hot Seat. Of course, as always, I will talk to you guys later on. Peace.